Yo, what's up, sports betters? So let's make some money. Let's place some bets. And I think that's all I got. So let's do it. I'm gonna share my screen. Again, if you look on YouTube and you go, there's a bit.ly link to all of the bets we've made on this live stream. And we're freaking crushing it. We crushed it yesterday. All these bets were on literally live stream. So you could have tailed, but maybe for some reason you didn't. Yesterday we had the under in the Hawks game. We have Lightning -2 already for tonight. We had Chattanooga -4.5. We had the Longwood, North Carolina A&T over 140. We're up about 3K. So we're running a bit hot, all just from the OddsJam plus EV screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to hit some bets, make some profitable bets, and hopefully see that profit go higher. So let me just make sure these freaking sportsbook accounts don't log me out. So let's place a plus EV bet. We can talk about some promos. We can do stuff like that. We can talk about the free features on OddsJam, like the bet tracker. Insanely useful because it shows you, when you placed a bet and beat the closing line, right? So like I bet on Portland -1. -110, the current zero juice true odds to Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, is -118. So I got better odds, right, than the current zero vig line. So my bet is positive EV. It is mathematically profitable, right? So all we're doing as a sports bettor is going here, basically looking for the highest opportunities, while also just considering, a couple of the factors that Randall discusses a lot, which is basically just market width, right? Like this market is 54 cents wide, so that means Pinnacle's a little less confident, right, in their lines. Here it's 27 cents wide. So, some of these markets will be very wide. So there is a bit of a, there are some caveats here, but just, things to consider. This market only 12 cents wide, right? Granted, it's lower EV, right? But this market's freaking 12 cents wide. You have an arb between Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the freaking world, and then FanDuel. So we know that this is a good bet, right? It is mathematically profitable with 2.75% edge. So we can go to NFL. I mean, might as well make this our first bet. Come on, FanDuel. So we can go here and then, whatever is in our risk tolerance, we can throw on it. If you're more bankroll constrained, whatever it is, you can use a Kelly calculator right here, which will tell you the optimal percentage of your bankroll to bet. So let's say your bankroll is $1,000 in sports betting, you would want to bet 27 bucks, roughly 30, 25 on this wager, given, its EV, its expected value. So 2.75%, whatever, we'll throw 250 on it. And again, we'll add it to the sheet. So this is a bet. If you have a FanDuel account, tail it. We say this in every video, and I'll continue to say it. You need a ton of sports books to be successful with OddsJam, right? Like if we go here, so this is under 23, first half, 49ers, Rams is plus 100, 250 bucks. This bet had, I believe a 2.75. Okay, I hope this is looking right. A 2.75% edge to the zero vig line from Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So that is our expected profit margin. Of course, not all our bets are going to win. Not all our bets are going to win, right? But it's all about following the math, following the numbers, and just we want, right, to form our own little hedge fund. All our bets have a positive expected profit margin. That is a positive expected value bet. And, we'll kind of see this expected profit in the long run, kind of like due to the law of large numbers, get close to our actual net profit. And again, there are a few caveats, like you want to consider things like market width, like this is obviously 12 cents wide, right? Like it's literally an arb or a low hold between Pinnacle and FanDuel, right? They have this -112. They're giving you money on, right? If you bet $100 on the over on Pin, you bet $100 on the under on FanDuel, you would have no loss of money, right? One bet's going to win, one bet's going to lose. Or if there's exactly 23 points, I guess the bet will push and you'll get your money back on both sports books. You put $100 on both books, you're not going to lose anything, right? It's literally impossible to lose money. But what we know is that means Pin, right? They think that given their market, how they're making money, this should be like minus 106 as the true odds. And they're the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So we put weight into that. So, we're absolutely crushing it. We got our first plus EV bet of the day. So my goal here, right, is place a bunch of plus EV bets, and we want to see that sum of expected profit go higher and higher. There are a bunch of promos, that we've discussed, like this one. Tomorrow is super good. They have a risk-free, 3+ leg same game parlay. You place, a same game parlay. And if your bet loses, so I'm trying to figure out how to click this button. I thought they had some parlay insurance, but maybe they don't. But anyways, this is good. This is literally a risk-free, right, same game parlay. If your bet loses, you get your money back. So you can't lose money. So if we go here, we can see what I have bet. I'll type in the 49ers game and gets on the 49ers. Here's what I went with, right? It's risk-free. It's a free lottery ticket from FanDuel. So I went all out. Rams minus 3.5, under 46. Debo first touchdown, plus 57.44. So I'm betting $10 to win 584, which includes my stake. And, if this bet loses, I get my money back, right? So this is definitely a promo that's fun, right? You'll have a fun $10 sweat, regardless of your bankroll, for NFL on Sunday. And, so that's what we ended up going with. And make sure you opt in to these promos. So we can go through, we can see if WinBet has anything, TwinSpires logged me out in 3 seconds. Great. We can go to Caesars, and Caesars has a few good promos as well. So this is really, really good. I already bet it, but place 3 straight money line wagers of $25 on any NHL games tonight. There's a big NHL slate, and you will earn a $25 free bet. So if we go here and we just go to NHL, kind of the strategy. So we'll go to NHL. The optimal strategy is you just want to look for lines that are best offered on Caesars, right? You want to look for bets that minimize the juice or minimize the vig. And you can see Caesars giving you the best price on the Golden Knights plus 140. So that would be, a good bet to place $25 on in terms of, maximizing the value of this promo. So really good, really high EV. I think it's 25% or something like that. And then they also have this other promo, right? Bet $25 on the total points market for both games, the Chiefs game and the 49ers game. If both bets win, they give you a $25 free bet. So this one a little worse than the other one, but it is still profitable. I bet it. I think I went with the under in the Chiefs game and the over in the 49ers game. So, again, this is another reason to go through all the links on YouTube, click all these links, sign up for all these sports books. Is different sports books. They have different promos. They have different lines. So if I only had FanDuel, right, it makes literally 0 sense, because then I wouldn't have Caesars, which means I'm missing out on all these promos. I'm missing out on this freaking amazing deposit bonus. I'm missing out on, this positive EV bet, which is currently the highest one, or this one, which has tighter market width, which we'll bet on right now, right? Karl-Anthony Towns over 9.5 rebounds. So I can go here. I can go to sports, and then we can just go to the Warriors game, and we can, place a bet on this. So we want to go to player props, and then we want to go to total rebounds, I believe. And then we have Karl-Anthony Towns minus 105. We'll throw 250 on it, right? Very tight market width. This bet has 5.12% EV, and then I'll add it to my sheet. And again, we've been crushing it. I don't expect to remain this hot. We're running above our expected profit in terms of the bets we placed, but still, now we have another fun sweat for tonight. Over 9.5 rebounds. This bet was placed at minus 105 odds, $250. And this bet had 5.12% edge to the 0 vig line from the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So our EV, or the EV of our bet, is roughly 1280. So that increases our, sum of expected profit right here. So I guess this should just keep going down. And, this will, in the long run, realize to actual net profit. So get multiple sports books, kind of the key, right? There's some good college basketball bets. Like you can see, there's a lot of good college basketball bets. There's a lot of good bets in general. We've explained the promos going on today. And again, OddsJam is a product that, very similar to finding great promos on sports books. If you didn't check FanDuel today, this is only on Thursdays. This is only on Thursdays. So you just have to make sure you're like on top of it, because these promos vary, from day to day. And it's same with like Caesars, right? They have a different promo basically every day. They have a promo for this Sunday. They had a promo for Thursday. They had a couple promos yesterday, all that. And then we can see if DraftKings has anything as well. So I think they do. They have a championship risk-free same game parlay. So this is really good. You bet $25 on a same game parlay for both games. You can do both games, the Bengals game and the 49ers game. If your bet loses, you get your money back. So they're kind of copying FanDuel. They also have this NBA same game parlay bet and get, which is really good. Which if you haven't been checking DraftKings, you've been missing out, because what you had to do is if you placed a $10 same game parlay on 7 separate days, DraftKings would give you an $100 free bet. So long story short, you have to bet $70 total in same game parlays. So if you lost everything, you would be down $70 and you would get an $100 free bet. And if you wanted to, you could literally go to the OddsJam low holds page, and 100% free feature of OddsJam. You could type in DraftKings and you could probably not even lose money. You could make money, right? And $100 free bet, you can see right here. If we had an $100 free bet from DraftKings, we're going to be able to bet that $100 on, this guy to score a goal. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. And then you could hedge on FanDuel and you could earn a risk-free profit of $77.59. So that is called free bet conversion. We have some articles on it and stuff like that. So free bets are obviously a big part of the bonuses on US sportsbooks. So if you want to learn about them, there's we have a bunch of articles on stuff like this. So feel free to check that out. Now what we can do is I think I have a free bet on WynnBET. So we can do the same thing. I can convert my free bet on WynnBET. So I'll reload this page and then I'll go here. So you can see whenever you're placing bets on WynnBET. So I'm placing bets on WynnBET. A lot of my bets from this live bet sheet, which we're absolutely crushing up 3K, are, on WynnBET. And you can see an added benefit of a lot of these sports books is when you're betting on them, they give you rewards, right? So I have $262 in, comp dollars. So, that's probably 15 drinks at the Wynn. I don't know how expensive drinks are, but that's what this number will be going towards, drinks at the Wynn. And then this is a separate thing that you get, which is basically when you bet, you get free credit, right? So I can redeem my $13 free credit for a $10 free bet. I don't have enough to convert the remaining $380, but I will after tonight because I have a ton of freaking bets open already. And then we can just look for a good free betting opportunity. So there are a few strategies for free bets, but the one thing you need is these sportsbooks to have long odds. So I also want to add this to my bet tracker. Again, the bet tracker is really useful because it'll tell you, if you're beating the closing line. The number one thing you need to do as a sports bettor to make money in the long run, super well known, is generate positive closing line value. You need to beat the closing line on the sharpest sports books like Penn. So you can see right here, whatever, I had, I don't even remember what this is for. Chiefs -10, I guess, for the Broncos game. I don't know if they won or lost, but I got the odds. My bet was at -105, and I had better odds than the closing line. So this shows up green, right? For the Seattle game back in January 14th, I had the Seattle NHL team +215. They closed +174. So what's amazing about OddsJam is we take out all the BS, right? No BS. It's all just freaking data. And these opportunities change, as these markets are moving, right? Players get injured in the NBA, everything changes. Karl Anthony Towns is out, who's going to score more points on the Timberwolves? Who's going to have the ball more? Who's going to get more rebounds? All of these markets start to change. Or if sharp action comes in, right? If a bunch of freaking money starts coming in on, William and Mary, then lines will start moving towards William and Mary, right? These markets are constantly changing. So to get the most value out of OddsJam, one, you need more sportsbooks. So go through all the links on YouTube, sign up for all those sportsbooks in your location. And you can also email us with any questions, but also, you need to use the product, right? The people who act like you can just look at the NFL playoffs, 3 minutes before the game start and make a ton of money. Those people are full of it. Sports betting is a freaking grind, and these opportunities are always changing. They're always coming. They're always going away. So to maximize, if you want to actually make money sports betting, like, you kind of have to put in the time, right? There's no such thing as like free, easy money out there. And OddsJam is an incredibly valuable tool, but like this minus 105 on Caesars, I added it to my bet tracker. So there's a little green check mark. It's not going to be around for the next, 4 hours, right? The lines are constantly moving, and this line may move for us. It may move against us, right? Like maybe, whatever, like they're getting blown out by the Warriors and he sits more, whatever. Like, I don't care, right? I don't care about, the analysis of the game. All I care about is live market data, because that's all that matters, right? It's all that matters in the long run. As a sports bettor, if you are consistently beating the closing line, you will make money. Every sports bettor has losing streaks. They have winning streaks, but the key to making money, right, is just beating the closing line, getting bets at value odds, right? That's what you want. So let's go here. So I have my $10 free bet on WinBet. I don't want these sports books to log me out. And I already placed my risk-free, promos on DraftKings. So, this is $50 total. You can bet risk-free. You lose, you get your money back. So this is insane EV. This is insane EV. I mean, these promos combined, which I'm pretty sure are in every state, is worth, probably like close to $100 in EV, which is pretty insane, right? January Dynasty rewards earn up to $800 in value. This I didn't even see. So this is pretty interesting. Like then there's like promos I don't even see, and I'm looking at this stuff all the time. So if I bet $500 in same game parlays, I don't know. I have to look more into this, but it looks like every $100 wagered on slots get 10 DK dollars, up to 250. I don't know. It's clearly really good. Bet $500 in same game parlays and you get $250 in DraftKings dollars. Like, it's not like, you get 250. Like, it's not like the VIG. So I have, how far am I through? So I guess I got to place a same game parlay. This is super profitable, right? And how do you think about this? DraftKings dollars are the same as FanDuel site credit, and the VIG on your freaking same game parlay, it's not going to be, right, 100. What am I trying to say? It's not going to be like 50%, right? We're betting 500 to win 250. It's not going to be 50%. So this ends Jan 30th. So that's Sunday. So I guess I have to bet it on NBA. And yeah, I mean, I can do that right now. So I'm not going to overthink this, right? I'm not going to overthink this because it's just insanely profitable, right? You're betting 500 and then they just give you $250. So we'll go here. I'm going to go to, what do we like tonight? I'm going to go to the, let's go to the Timberwolves game. And then what I can do is just like go to OddsJam, see what pin is at, and see if I can get a little bit of value. These same game parlays are a bit weird because, correlation is taken into consideration, right? Like, if there's a lot of points in the game because the Warriors are favored, the Warriors should be more likely to win the game. So if we go here, we can see, whatever, like where's pin at? So they're kind of shaded towards the under on 229, 228.5. They're right in the middle. So I'd take the under 229.5. And then I'll also, what do we like here? The Warriors spread. Do we like 4.5 or do we like 5.5? So I can go back here. And again, this is free on OddsJam. Odds comparison, very free, but it makes it really valuable so you can maximize value. So, Warriors minus 5.5 is favored, right? So that seems like possibly the better leg to include. So we're going to go here. And then I want to add that to my bet slip, but I also want to like make sure there's not a minimum odds requirement on this, right? You should make sure always like you're not missing out on something. So let's see if there's any terms associated. Same game parlay. 15-minute delay. So read more. Always got to be careful here that they're not minimum odds. So it doesn't look like there's a minimum odds. I still have $490 to bet. So I could go through the math of this and prove it's positive EV, but I feel like I've already spend a bit too much freaking time on this. So I'm just going to hit this for $490 and then we'll call it a day. If I lose, I get $250 from DraftKings and DraftKings dollars. So my losses are capped at like, whatever, $240, which I mean, I'm fine with. But I also, for that other promo, I already have bet a $10 NBA same game parlay tonight. So I only actually have to bet 480. So we'll do that. So we'll hit this same game parlay. Warriors minus 5.5, under 229.5 in the game. And again, this bet may win, this bet may lose. It's not favored to win, right? It's plus 240 odds. These same game parlays have pretty high juice, but it's not 50%, right? It's not 50%. So we can go back here. We can see if there's any new opportunities on OddsJam. I'll reload these pages. I can quickly use the free low holds page, 100% free, just like the bet tracker, to try to find the best free betting opportunity on WinBet. So I can type in WinBet. And we can sort by conversion percentage, and it looks like Clippers is decent, right? Senators plus 210 looks pretty decent, right? Bet Online on the Platinum plan is one of the sharpest sports books out there. So it's only a $10 free bet, right? Plus 210. How does that look on the Senators? Pins market is plus 201, minus 228. So we can go here. And then we can go to no big odds, plus 201, minus 228. So like plus 210 is like a decent price, right? It is basically the true price on Pin, the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So we can go to hockey. It seems like a good leg, right? It's not like super positive EV or anything, but we want our free bet to have long odds, right? So we want to put them on underdogs. We can scroll around here and we can see, okay, where is WinBet? Are there any plus EV betting opportunities right now on WinBet? And maybe if there's nothing, you want to save it, but it's kind of up to you. So doesn't look like anything, but maybe this Clippers leg was pretty good. So we can go back here. I'll type in WinBet. You can see they're giving you plus 230 on the Clippers tomorrow. DraftKings, probably a bit sharper for basketball too, as DraftKings is only giving you plus 195. Plus 230 seems like a pretty good price. So I can go here, and then I can go to Clippers, and this game's tomorrow tomorrow. So I'll hit this, and now I have a parlay plus 923 odds. You want your free bets to have long odds to maximize the EV, and then we'll hit this bet. You can confirm my location. So boom, $10 free bet placed, logged me out. So let me stop sharing my screen for 1 sec. We'll place this bet, and then let's hit some plus EV bets on, some of the main sports books like DraftKings and FanDuel, and hopefully at least someone out there in the world is watching and you're able to tail it, because that's always fun. You have a bunch of good bets open. So I'm back into WinBet. Okay. And then I can do share screen. I'll share my screen. Hopefully this is working. And I'll place my $10 free bet on this. Boom. My $10 free bet is placed now. And then, that's pretty cool. I also have these chips, which are another rewards thing. I just haven't used them, but it's pretty cool, right? Because all these sports books like DraftKings, FanDuel is why you need multiple sports books. They have all these cool promos. So like highly recommended, right? Highly, highly recommended. You go through all the links in the description on YouTube. You sign up for everything you can in your specific location, right? If you're in California, you can get Prize Picks, but that's about it. It's like daily fantasy with props and player props and stuff like that. So, but you're not going to have access to DraftKings. And so it's state specific, which is why the US is so interesting, right? Is in Arizona, right? If I switch over to Colorado, I guess this is a bad example because only 2 sports books have posted, odds on this game. But, yeah. So we can go back to the plus EV page. I already bet this. What's weird is like the date is wrong on DraftKings, so I'm not sure if it'll be voided, but we already bet this. This looks pretty good. Again, kind of higher market width, so maybe that's something you want to avoid. This guy already bet on FanDuel previously, not on a live stream, so it's not like, the only bets tracked in this profit and loss sheet are the frickin', whatever, like bets we are hitting right now. So we can kind of scroll around, see if there's anything interesting out there. Ideally with like kind of tighter market width, and you're kind of balancing that, right? You want to have higher edge, but like this has 12 cents of market width. So we're very confident this is a good bet. And we actually bet that. So I really should add that to my bet tracker because again, if my bet gets bad, like let's say the line rips against me for this, or the Karl Anthony Towns bet, I'm currently beating the closing line, I will get an email notification. This is a free feature from OddsJam that's like, hey, your bet now sucks. And you can oftentimes go and try to cash it out, right? Like I have the Senators, plus 1.5 today, right? And I didn't add it to my bet tracker. I should have, but this is like, whatever. I'm on a little test account, but you can see like, if the line moves against us, sometimes you can cash out for full value or at least close to it. I have over 5.5 goals in the Canucks Jets game. We can see if that still looks good. So we can go to the Canucks Jets game. I really liked it earlier. I don't know if I really still like it, but we can go to total goals over 5.5. I mean, plus 105. Yeah, it's pretty good, right? It's favored on, BM, Bet Online, and PIN, the sharpest sportsbooks in the world. It's plus 105 is a pretty damn good bet, if I do say so myself. And it's positive EV, right? The zero vig or the true price, even minus 105 looks halfway decent, right? Minus 112 plus 100, or at least fair or true on PIN. So, right, the market on PIN is minus 112 plus 100. So the sharpest sportsbook in the world thinks this bet should be minus 105, and we got it plus 105 thanks to OddsJam. So we can continue to go through, and some ARBs out there, not a ton of stuff, not as much NBA today. Let me switch my state back to my state, and then Gonzaga minus 27.5, Hawaii or CSU Northridge plus 14. I mean, both seem like good bets, right? They're both positive EV, very, pretty tight market width. 21 cents here, 22 cents here. So we can go back here. And we can go to these. Hawaii or Northridge. Where are you? So it may have just moved, but then we have the Gonzaga game. And that is 4.15% edge. Very tight market. So that's a new opportunity. And we can type in Gonzaga, try to move quick because it's a good bet and lines are always moving and you need to be on top of your stuff. We can go here and we can throw $250 on this. And we can add it to our bet tracker, right? So pretty simple, like considering market width, again, like the general premise here. So we'll throw 250 on that. And then we can have Gonzaga minus 27.5. And we have Gonzaga minus 27.5. And this was minus 110. And our bet is $250. We have an edge or EV of 4.15%. So I'll add that in here. And then we can go here. And it's a pretty tight market. We're getting 10.38 in expected profit. So this number continues to go up. We're diversifying our own little like hedge fund of mathematically profitable bets. So pretty cool. And then like some bets will win, some bets will lose. We'll have a few down days, but we'll mainly have up days and we'll see that profit go up and up and up. That's the whole goal, right? That is the whole goal. So connection problem. So let me reload that. I'll reload DraftKings. I don't want to get logged out. I'll make sure I'm still sharing my screen. I'm still sharing my screen. So we can go here. Total receptions. I mean, this looks incredible, right? It's favored on PIN. You can get plus 115 on Caesars. So I'll bounce back here. And then we can go to Kelsey. But again, the market width, right? It's a bit wider, right? 30 cents of market width. So let's go to the Chiefs game. And let me just do that. Let's go here. Come on. And then I'll go to player props. And then I'll go to, what am I trying to bet? Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions, plus 115. It's an ARB to PIN. So we can go here, and then we can go to, I got to find it quick before the line moves, total receptions, Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce, over 6.5. You can see I was trying to bet it frickin' plus 115. It's now down to minus 115. Now it just went back up to plus 115. Pretty confused what's going on. But, okay. So we'll bet that plus. So we'll bet that. And we had another mathematically profitable bet to our kind of like, whatever, like our sheet. Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions, plus 115. We have $250 on that. This bet has 7.93% edge, right? And this opportunity just popped up. If you weren't on OddsJam, if you weren't watching this live stream, you're not going to get this fantastic bet with $19.83 of edge, right? So we added another bet. we're diversifying our portfolio. Some of these bets I'm just going to highlight so I remember to like track the profit and loss, right? Like, this UFC fight isn't until February 12th, some random soccer games, another UFC fight on some guy. But now we pushed our expected profit over $1,000. So that's pretty cool. So we can refresh it now and we can go down. And if you missed it on Caesars, you can still get it on DraftKings. So I should add this to my bet tracker, and I bet this on Caesars. So I'll change this to Caesars and I'll put in 250 and we're good to go, right? So we just added another good bet, right? Another good bet. So right, here's another one. Stetson versus Bellemere, 21 cents a market width. So, I mean, we could sit here all day. We could talk about this. But I'll also just kind of look through. So we went over DraftKings promos. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. We've went over, you should get multiple sportsbooks, sign up for everything. Go to YouTube, check out all my open bets, sign up for sportsbooks you don't have. All these sportsbooks have insane freaking deposit bonuses. This isn't going to be around in 5 years. Caesars is not going to be giving you $1,000 to sign up for an account. It's just not going to happen, right? Right now in the US, there's so many sportsbooks, so they're all in a race to get new customers, and they have to pay up for it. So it's pretty cool. Register, a Caesars account, click the link below. We'll take you to the highest deposit bonus in your state. Like in New York, you don't want to do this $1,000 one because they just launched in New York. They're giving away a $3,000 deposit bonus, I believe, still. I don't think it ends until the end of January. So click the link. We'll send you to the best deposit bonus in your state and you're good to go. And again, like the whole point of OddsJam is just like knowledge is data, is power, right? Like you want to look at the sharpest sports books in the world and kind of compare them to other books you're betting on to try to get a sense of if a bet is good. And it looks like that is now down from Caesars. So we can go here. So, like as an example, if we want to go to a hockey game and we're considering if a bet is good, you can consider like the 3 sharpest sports books out there. You can have an argument, I guess, on like what are the top 5 smartest sports books. But I mean, right, like PIN, BM, Bet Online, Heritage, Westgate, whatever, like, you get the point. Having more books is better, right? You want more data, right? You want to bet with data. You don't want to bet based on what some dumb Twitter handicapper tells you to do, right? It doesn't make any sense. You want to trust the betting markets and the sharpest bookmakers out there. Bet Online, Westgate right here, right? All on the Platinum plan. So you can get your risk-free month of the Platinum plan as well. You can just email us. There's, I think, an email in the description. I'm pretty young, but the StreamYard thing has been very frustrating for me to figure out. So we can continue to go through, look for some bets, hit some bets, and this Hawaii or CSU Northridge plus 14, another plus EV bet, very tight market width. So we'll add this, right? And again, like the whole premise of OddsJam is whenever there's an ARB, like there is right here, you can place a bet on both sports books and earn a risk-free profit. There's no such thing as free money lying on the ground. So it's your job as a sports bettor to make the decision, because arbitrage betting is very hard, right? It's very time consuming because you have to place a bet, you have to figure out how much you want to hedge, then you have to go place the hedge bet. Positive EV betting is very simple. It's you look at data, you look at ARBs, and you look at the whole betting market to try to figure out what's the good bet before the line moves, right? And here it's like, this one may not be a great example, again, because like all these books have different fight dates for this fight, this, Alexander Raychik fight or whatever his name is. But like the general premise is like when an ARB exists, one bet has to be good, and it's your decision to figure out which bet is good, right? Do you want to bet against Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world? I don't, right? So it's just kind of, that's the process right here, right? So what I know here, and it looks like those lines moved, but you get the point. So I can go back here. You can see if there's any good bets out there. Under 65.5 first half total points, 22 cents a market width on WinBet. And then again, I already showed you, like when you're placing bets on WinBet, they give you these rewards, right? Like I think the past 3 live streams, I've had some random, free bet on WinBet that I've been able to use. So go to this Wagner game. I'll type it in. Definitely spelled that wrong. Go to Wagner game. and Wagner. And then we want to go to first half. And then we want to go to under 65.5 plus 100. Cool. And then, we'll throw 250 on this. Pretty tight market with. Sharpest sportsbook in the world has this favored minus 121, minus 101. So we'll place this bet. And then this is St. Francis, PA Wagner. Whew. So we have St. Francis, PA at Wagner plus 100. And this was under 66.5. Where are you, baby? Under 66.5, 4.29%. So $250. What was it? 4.29% to 4.29%. So the EV of our bet is, roughly $10 about. And, consider market width, consider the whole betting market, like things we've been over. But at the same time, like, you kind of got to move quick, right? Great opportunities don't last forever. So, just something to consider. As well as like there is this like speed versus, detail oriented relationship. So we placed that bet, which is tonight, I believe. Yeah, so this game's today at 5 p.m. So that's pretty cool. We have another good bet, very tight market with, very high confidence that, yeah, this is a damn good bet, right? So we can refresh. I should add it to my bet tracker. So it looks like it may have been hit already, but you get the point. So we could go through, we could place a bunch more bets. We can see what I have open on FanDuel. I mean, some promos, like this is the risk-free one we discussed earlier. They have a risk-free, I believe it's in every state. NBA same game parlay tonight for either game. So, or no, it's not even risk-free. It's better than that. If you bet $10 on a same game parlay, FanDuel just give you $10, right? Like, I mean, I don't get how not everyone in the world is doing this. It's literally them saying, here's a $10 bill, go spend it on whatever you want, right? So that's pretty cool. We can go here, we can, some of these boosts, these ones are a little harder to like figure out if they're any good or not. I mean, they seem halfway decent, but who knows? Like they're a little harder to price, right? They're a little harder to price because no sports books are offering markets, right? There's no sharp sports book like BM or PIN that's saying, hey, 2 or more 3-point field goals in the first 3 minutes. So you're kind of shooting in the dark here. And you could say like, oh, well, it was plus 110 and now it's plus 150, but it's like, who cares what they said it was, right? All that matters is what is it now, right? Who cares what they said it was, right? That's like me being like, oh, like, my socks are worth $500, but I'll give them to you for 200, right? It doesn't matter the was, all that matters is the now. So you can go over to promos and see if WinBet has any promos, football parlay bonus, and then maybe let's hit one more positive EV bet. I think Randall's going to come on in a bit and play some plus EV bets. So I'm not sure if I missed any here. We could dabble in this a bit wider market with, but like if we go here and we go to Capitals minus 1.5, you can kind of see like some decent value, although DraftKings and TwinSpires are giving you like plus 235. So maybe we want to hold off because, the market's a little wider. They're less confident, which is fine. But this Hawaii one looks like a steal deal, right? I don't think I already bet this. So I'll go to Caesars. I'll type in Hawaii. Oh, shoot, I already had it. Go. And then we want the plus 14, right? You can see the plus 14 is where the 5.2% edge is. So we can hit this. Very tight market with, very high confidence that this is a good bet. And we can hit it for 250, right? There are insufficient funds in your account. Bruh. What are you talking about? Place bet 250. So cool. Now we have CS Cal State Northridge Matadors. So we can get this, and then we can go here, and then we can be like, okay, we want these guys plus 14. We have an underdog now. We have a heavy favorite minus 27.5 point spread, and we'll add this. This was $250, 5.2% edge that just popped up, whereas it had been there for a couple minutes. So we just gained another, $13 in EV. So pretty happy about that. Now our sum of expected profit is $1,024, but we're up 2.9K because we're running hotter than the sun. Because that's typically how it goes. And all you had to do was be on the live stream and tail everything. So you can continue to go through, there's some other bets like this Bellemere, it's the same thing, right? Very tight. It's not directly an ARB, right? Whenever you have an ARB, it's like you literally know there has to be a good bet. And it's your decision to decide what you want to bet. Again, this first one's a little weird just because of the dates, but like these two, it's just like, you want to bet, like you can, if you had an account on PIN, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, you could hit both sides, use an arbitrage calculator, right? And make a risk-free profit. Which side do you think I'm going to want to bet on every single time, right? So that's pretty cool. We can go back to the plus EV page and hopefully, we see this number continue to go up. Hopefully I don't go on a losing streak. But again, like, it's not about looking at one bet like, oh, that bet lost. You're an idiot. It's like, dude, I don't care. It's about the math and it's about, profit over the course of a month. It's not about profit over the course of like, one bet or one day because everyone has down days. It's impossible to win every time. Sports betting has variance. Sometimes the best bets, end up losing, right? Like if Gonzaga's best player gets injured, then my bet's going to suck, right? But I'll get a notification from the OddsJam bet tracker. Then maybe I can go to Caesars real quick where I have 19 bets open and I can cash it out. Or maybe I can't, right? And then I just have a crappy bet. Sometimes lines will move in your favor. Sometimes they'll move against you. So, like the Senators one, when I placed this initially, it looked much better. It still looks plus EV, but it doesn't look as good. The line moved a bit against me. So, you can't win them all. Rams -3 first half, or that's just point spread. Seems pretty good, right? I got Rams -3 from OddsJam. Now they're -3.5. The difference between 3 and 3.5 in terms of distributions, right, in NFL scores is massive, right? If the Rams win by 3 and I have -3.5, my bet loses. But I was able to pick up -3 thanks to OddsJam, right? When lines initially started moving towards the Rams. Kind of crazy too. You can already bet on the Super Bowl. Very interesting. Very interesting. The 49ers would only be +142 against the Chiefs. Pretty crazy. And then again, like if you did bet on this, right, if the 49ers lose, FanDuel just voids your bet. It's not like you lose your money. If you bet on these like weird, iterations, they're just showing you every combination for the Super Bowl. You can bet on it if you wanted to, right? So that's early NFL Super Bowl odds, which is pretty cool. So here, line movement under 6.5, Penguins versus Seattle. So boom, another good bet, 3.9% edge, very tight market width. So we can go here, and then we can go to the Kraken game under 6.5. How much are they going to give me? Try to bet 500. They're like, yeah, sure. Boom. Try to be quick. Under 6.5. Only 17 cents a market width. We're very highly confident that this is a good bet. So I'll go add this. I'll add this to my sheet. And I guess I have to increase the size of all these other rows. So that's fine with me. And then we can go here. And then this is Seattle, versus the Penguins under 6.5. I don't want to miss good bets. I'm trying to not, think too hard about, how I'm annotating this or whatever. And we can go here, which means our expected profit is 4% on $500. I'm $19.50 richer in expected profit, which hopefully continues to realize in net profit. Hopefully we continue to run hot, right? But, even the best can't win every time. So that's pretty cool. Really good bet. Add it to my bet tracker. If the line moves against me, let's say, all the good players end up playing who score goals. I don't really know how hockey works. I don't really care. I just care about the data because that's the only thing that makes you money long-term as a sports bettor. Caring about the data, not the BS, right? It's all about the data. It's all about the betting markets. It's all about line movements, which is, what OddsJam was obviously built to help you do. So then we can go to the Stetson game. Again, very tight market width, 21%, 3.77% edge. I'm pretty damn confident. This is a damn good bet. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to do the Stetson game. And then what team do I want to bet on? I want to bet on this Bellarmine, -3.5, 3.77% edge. We can click into the game. What you can see is we'll hit this bet. It's like, most sportsbooks have 4.5, right? The difference between 3.5 and 4.5 when the distribution is centered around 3.5 is pretty big, right? It's big as a sports bettor. So I'll hit this 3.77% edge. And again, having the platinum plan is useful if you're on the industry plan, just because more data is more power, right? you want to see more data, right? You want to be able to compare lines to BM, Bet Online, PIN as well. Like you want more data, is more knowledge, more power as a sports bettor because everything is about the data. So we have these guys, minus 3.5 on the point spread. So I'll go here. Whew. I'm losing my touch. Minus 350 or 250. No, minus 110, 250, whatever. And then I bet, roughly $10. So here's our EV for the day. This is how much money I consider I just made sports betting. Of course, we still may lose money. Sports betting has variance. But when did we start betting? Today, right at that bet. So $102.53 in expected profit is what we made. So that's pretty cool. Again, if you're trying to see the sheet, it's in the description on YouTube. Just go to the, sign up for all the sports books there are links for. And then also, because you need multiple sports books to be successful. If you never pay for OddsJam, you need multiple sports books. It doesn't matter. Nobody makes money with one sports book. It's not a thing. It's not a thing anywhere. People who say they can't line shop makes no sense, right? OddsJam's literally free odds comparison. It's free odds comparison. Anyone can line shop. And sure, it doesn't matter if you're betting $2 per day, right? It doesn't matter if you're betting $2 per day, but guaranteed long term, if you're placing bets at minus 650 when you could be getting minus 590 on a buck in your state, you will guaranteed lose money. I don't care if this bet tonight wins at minus 650. It's obviously a heavy favorite. It probably will win, but it doesn't matter, right? If you're placing bets at significantly or any worse odds than another buck in your state, you are guaranteed to lose money long term. It's just not how betting markets work. Everything is about searching for the value in the odds and generating positive CLV, right? Because if you're making, if you're placing, let's say $1,000 in bets per week, the difference between, getting 3% better odds, like just line shopping in general, is really what moves people because nobody wins every time. The best professional sports bettors or professional, whatever you want to call them, the best sports bettors, right? In the square of sports bettors still have winning days. They still have losing days. They still win some bets. They still lose some bets. All that matters though is that 3% incremental, 4%, whatever it is, improvement in odds is really what shifts people from becoming a winning sports bettor to a losing sports bettor over the course of the long run, or 5% or 10% improvement in odds, right? Like sometimes it's absolutely like massive, right? Like you can get this guy plus 215 on TwinSpires, which is a plus EV bet, right? Betting on DraftKings, betting 100 to win 185 versus 100 to win 215 on TwinSpires, like doesn't make any sense. You're just losing money. So here we have a player block bet, pretty wide market width, but we can dabble in it maybe a little. And this is in the Thunder Pacers game. DraftKings logged me out. I'm a little too lazy, and Randall's about to go live. So I'll kind of hold off on that. This bet was incredible. I already added it to my bet tracker. Otto Porter over 6.5 rebounds. I mean, relatively tight, market width. This also relatively tight market width. So maybe these are the last two bets we want to place on FanDuel. So we can go to the Oilers game. Where are you, baby? Oilers minus 1.5. They're going to say, no, you've made too much money off us. We'll only give you 55. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to go to the Oilers game. And not a huge bet, but, I still think it's good. It's mathematically profitable, pretty tight market width, right? You're getting 20 cents of improvement from PIN. It's profitable to the zero VIG line, which is plus 205, minus 233. We're picking up plus 225 when the true price, the fair odds, once you remove the juice, which is the way all sportsbooks make money, is plus 213.41. We're getting plus 225. So we can go here to the Oilers game. We bet 55.55, which is what I was limited to. So then we can go here and then we can go to Oilers, minus 1.5. We got this plus 225. I hate betting against the Predators, but again, I don't really care. The Predators have left me a lot of money betting against them. Season, they've made me good amount of money betting on them. It always seems like I'm on the wrong side of the Predators. But again, this is just variance. Like it doesn't actually matter, right? It's just trusting the betting markets, trusting the math. And that's really the only way to make money long-term as a sports bettor. So we bet this tight market width. Where was that Otto Porter player prop bet? Did it disappear on me? Can scroll around. And, I think I'll call it a day there. But as always, any questions you have about OddsJam, Tobias Harris, minus 108, maybe some things you want to dabble in. Under 6 goals in the Penguins game. This also looks good, right? PIN has the exact same line as Bet Online. So two of the sharpest sports books out there. This looks plus EV2. So this is a good bet, right? Maybe I'll actually double down on this bet. So we can go here, and then we can go to the Kraken game. We can go to under 6 goals. So we can go to total goals. Then we can go to under 6. And we can go to plus 114. And I'll be like, yo, can I get 150? And they're going to say, no, you get 109.65. And it's like, okay, I have very high confidence that this bet is good. 1.91% edge, sure, but very, very tight freaking market width. And 109.65 is our bet. So I'm going to add this here. And boom. There we go. And then I have, so this is under 6, and this was 1.19% edge, so a bit lower, but we have really high confidence that this is a good bet. And we have 109.65, and this bet was at plus 114 odds. And we can go here, and then we can do that, and then we have 209 in EV, right? We're just kind of forming our own little hedge fund. The market on pin was plus 104, minus 117, so the true price is using a zero vig calculator, plus 109.99. We got plus 114, which is slightly better, which is why this is positive EV, just using data to bet. Anyways, Randall's, I think, going live. So I appreciate it. Hopefully, again, this is all in the description. Sign up for a bunch of sports books. Email us any questions you have about sports betting, promos, sign up bonuses, sports books in your state. What is Prize Picks? What is the difference between like this like fantasy thing? And, email us any questions about that. These bets are going to freaking hit. We're going to make some freaking money. We're already up 3K. Let's keep it going. We're obviously running a bit hot, about 2K over our expected profit, or 1.9K, whatever. But let's keep it going and let's make some freaking money. A bunch of bets today, about $100 in EV out there. So even on a slower NBA day, still getting a bunch of good bets down even on max limited accounts. So I hope you found this video helpful. Sign up for all the sportsbooks in your state. Click all the links in the YouTube description. Will take you to the best sign-up bonuses available on that sportsbook or just in your state. You need multiple sportsbooks to make money. You need to look at lines a lot to make money. Again, the sheet with all of my open bets is just on YouTube. Look in the description. There's a bit.ly link, live bets or something like that. It's called. Hit it. See all the open bets. Let's make some freaking money. So I appreciate it. Thanks so much.